Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Kryptocraft with your host, Nighthawk. I'm working on setting up some stuff for some improvements to our Ender farm. Specifically, we need some better transportation to get out there. So what I've done is I've got a steam locomotive, and we're going to be making some additional parts to this. Take a look to see if I have any dyes over here, and of course I don't see any. So the idea here is to build a track from the main platform all the way out to the Ender farm, and it's actually going to be two tracks. There's going to be, because I currently don't want to share the center track. We could do that if we wanted to. Probably should realistically, just to preserve materials, but I'm not quite ready to set up any sort of a signaling system for passing or anything of that nature quite yet. Of course, initially there's only going to be one train, so we might start with this down the middle after all, actually. Regardless, the idea will be a train from the main platform all the way out to the Ender Farm Tower. And the other part I'm not sure is how to set the whistle pitch. I'm not sure about that part, but that's a different story. Anyway, I've already made a bunch of track, and I think that's enough track for at least one of the rails out. And I think we'll start by putting the rail on one side. If we end up deciding that we only want one track, then we can always shift that back to the middle or something like that. I've got a steam locomotive. I've got a minecart here. We also need a crowbar, which needs more red dye than I got. Of course it does. But that one just takes regular iron, so I just need to get some regular iron, which I put in this chest over here for some reason. And then we'll go back over to my place before we head out there. And yeah, I've got a fair bit of supplies now, and I will see you guys out at the Ender farm. Back in a moment. Okay, and we are back out at the Ender farm, and right now I'm starting by our project here just by putting a roof over this. I'm also going to add guardrails on either side. I don't know if I have enough of these stone slabs to do all of this, the whole distance yet. But then the next step after this, for finishing up this portion, will be to pour water over the top of it and get it all still, get the top part of it anyway to be all still water. Now what I'm hoping will happen here is, let's go back up here. I'm planning on having this so that the guardrail is out here, just like you see it right there. What I'm hoping will happen here is that the water will pour off the top of this level onto this lower level and then out the side and not come into the center area here. So I still have to actually test that. I might have to adjust this design a little bit to get it to work exactly how I have in mind. But I think the basic idea is sound. So I'm going to go ahead and finish getting the at least finish building what I can of the guardrails and the roof area here. I need to get it at least 30 or 40 blocks out away from the killing floor here, which I should actually be pretty close to right now, because I'm at 260 and the killing floor is at, there's 30 blocks already, so I guess if I take it out to that distance that I've got right there, then we'll be in decent shape as far as protecting the track from teleporting Endermen. And once we get the top level, or the top of this all protected from teleportation with the water, then we should be in pretty good shape. So let's see. There we go. Let's just take this out one more just for grins. So there we go. That covers all of this area. And then I just need to make sure that when I go and pour water, that I don't end up with water off the end there. So I don't want to have water pour this direction. I just want it to pour over the other sides. I'm going to go grab some iron, because apparently I was silly and did not bring a bucket or anything. Actually, let's... Whoops. Before we go anywhere, let's see if I happen to have a bucket, and we'll test this water system out. Are you glitching through that block? Let's just put that just like so. There we go. And you can see this is actually working pretty well. I did add the glowstone on the killing floor so that it will prevent any regular spawns from showing up there. And that's been working quite well. We also have a sorting ender chest, an anvil. Have another chest over here with a carrot in it. Interesting. I may need to turn the sound down as well. Oh, good. I do have buckets. So let's test our... I'm a little low on jetpack power, but I should be okay. Let's get out of the bottom here. And let's make some Endermen mad. Now, I won't try killing these guys because I don't know if any of them happen to be real ones or not. So I don't want to go messing with them. First of all, fix that little spot. Now, this should not be flowing. Let's try to get this to all turn still. There we go. And let's make some Endermen mad. Go, and there's that part. So it looks like that's going to do what I want it to do. It's going to have an interesting little visual oddity, but that's okay. Because right now, if you look at the edge there, you can see that the water just sort of floats over the half slabs instead of going all the way down to them. But that's okay. And doing our best to maintain a... Oh, come on. Try to get the water flow to actually stay still as much as possible. Let's try getting that to flood out. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit tricky. I'm going to go ahead and finish getting the water flow set up here. Interesting how it kills them as they try to walk up to it. I'm going to get the water flow finished up here, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got the water pretty much laid out over all of these half slabs, and it worked reasonably well. did a couple of things in some spots that I didn't exactly want, but overall it will be effective, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Now, right now, as a result of all the water and everything else, these guys, once they spawn and fall into the trap, they have nowhere that they can teleport to. You see, there's some weird graphical glitches in the way the water is laid out, because it's all... Yeah, there really are differences in the way this water flows. Anyway, should be all relatively fine. Anyway, so at this point, you can see also that I kind of screwed up the end point here, but it's gonna work for what we're using it for, so I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Anyway, let's get this back on our hotbar. We now have this set up so that there's no place that these Endermen can teleport to once they fall into the trap here, which will help ensure that we don't end up with any problems with the numbers of them spawning or anything like that. So the next thing that we have to do here is set up our track. Now, I think for the moment anyway, we're just going to end up with one track. And I've got to figure out how to make this so that it will be redstoneable in some fashion. Now, what I have for tracks here... Now, the real idea here was to get this set up so that you could just get in the minecart and it would automatically start going the moment you got into it. And let me... this, turn that sound way down because they are really noisy guys. So that's the idea, is to basically get these guys so that they will automatically get out. When you get in the minecart, it will just take off and take you to the other end of the track. My attempts to get that to work have met with utter and complete failure. The problem I'm running into is I can't get the boarding tracks, and this is a train boarding track, but I tried it with the regular boarding tracks and single carts as well. I can't get them to release the cart when you get into it. They grab the cart fine, but they aren't releasing the cart the way that they are supposed to be. So, unfortunately, there is a little bit of a... Or going to end up being a little bit of a manual portion to this that I'd rather not have, but don't really have a way around at the moment. Let's see if I can get this like so, and let's make a couple of wooden buttons. Okay, and can I place that? Oh, sweet. So what we end up with is when you get in the cart, you'll have to hit the button to make it go. It'll take off, and hopefully... now, I didn't make any detector rails because I wasn't planning on setting it up quite this way, but hopefully... I'll probably not be able to get quite everything together here. Let's take a look here. Detector rails take... Yeah, I'll have to go make some more wooden rail beds before we can actually finish this. But what we can do is, while we're heading back that direction, is just run track. And it's going to take a lot of track. We're at least 250 blocks away from the main island. I think I have enough tracks, and I think that the steam locomotive will do what I want going up the stairs. So both of those conditions should be okay. Let's get all this track ran. Hopefully not ending up with too many holes here. I don't see any other spots over there that missed. And once we get these all put in, we'll also need to drag to take this rail all the way over to the exit portal. Now, my original idea was to have 2 rails going the whole distance. I guess from a rail efficiency standpoint, just one section of rail is sufficient, and maybe I make a passing point on the track at some point. I'm also only setting this up for trains using the steam locomotive, and I didn't bring enough coal coke to power the steam locomotive that I've got, but we can also power it with regular coal. I'll probably stick some more coal into the coke ovens to turn into coal coke to power this thing. Okay, there we go. There's that part. All the way up. Fortunately, these Endermen can't take the endstone blocks. Okay, let's get some more rail out. Should be mostly straight ahead, I think. Yeah, there's a little bit off to the left that it's going to take, but not very much. This way, when you're all done at the Ender Farm, the idea will be that I still have to put in the section at the platform where you come in, but the idea will be that when you come into the end, you get in the train there. When you're done, it takes you over here and will drop you off right at the end portal. And then we come back this way, and apparently I need one more lever. I do not have anything to make another lever either. So that's going to have to wait as well. Actually, you know what we can do? We can take this. We can turn this into a torch. There we go. And now we have a lever that we need. Now what this should do, actually this might be okay just like this. Because what this should do is the train's going to come in this way, it will drop you off here, and then it continues back down the track to the central platform. Now the trip back, that should be okay. I need it to branch here. So I do need more supplies here to make this work. I guess I could take some of this cobblestone to make another lever. So what it needs to do is it needs to branch off to the stop. And maybe what we want to do here is go take this up. And let's branch this something along these lines. Actually, it needs... I want to give this more room. Because the train... it takes a little bit of room on the stop when it's stopped that way. So let's go like so. No. Okay, now let's grab 2 pieces of cobblestone off of this. We have some planks that we can turn into sticks to make into levers. Okay, I can't put it there. See, now well, this one is going to need a detector rail because it needs to when the train is leaving, it needs to... Well, actually, no. When the train is... As the train is arriving, or going this direction... Well, I guess it depends on which side we want. So if we say that this track is the one that's leaving, then as the train comes up this track here, it needs to switch this rail so it goes this side, and then over here it also needs to switch it so that it will continue going up. Otherwise, the way this is set right now, I think what will happen is it will effectively reverse the train, because it will come down this track, hit this and reverse, and if we leave this switched, then we will miss our junction track over here. Now, I guess what we could do is leave this as the default path, and then as the train arrives, well, either way, we're still going to need detector rails to switch things around, so let's take this spot out here and put in our boarding track. This is effectively getting used as a holding track, but we do what we have to do. Let's put this here with a button on it. That lights up. Perfect. And I'm going to go get some, go make some boarding track, or some, make some more tracks and get a couple more supplies. Get some coal and some water cells, and we'll get this train up and running. So I will see you in a moment. Okay, we're back again, and I just teleported into the end, and we have a bit of a problem here. I've already taken some steps towards correcting it, but I thought I would share what we ended up coming into. Basically, because this obsidian pad gets regenerated every time you come into the end, well, the tracks that were running across it got demolished as well. I knew it got regenerated, but I was hoping that I could lay tracks across it and it would still work. Obviously, that's not the case, so a little bit of a change of plan from what I had originally. Fortunately, I still have plenty of tracks available for what we need to do, so not a horrible thing. Now, let's see here. Basically, we need to go around this little obsidian pad. Let's take out those tracks. Actually, let's go a little bit further here. Let's go all the way to the edge of this pad. Then we'll come out this way and go down here. And just go right around it just like that. Then we also need to set up our track. We got to make a new button here. And let's put that here. Say hi to little Squatch. And we're going to set up our... We're going to put our train boarding rail right there. That's a little close to the track. Let's make a little bit of room here. There we go. That lights up. Perfect. Now we want to have this switch as we come close. So if we take this and replace it with a... that did not do what I was wanting it to do. What if I... What if I take and set a torch? Okay, so a torch will invert that. Now the question is, if I take a cart, no. Well, it It did end up going the direction I wanted it to. Let's try that again. See, the thing is, I don't know if it will work with the train going through that. Because the train might not... The train might hold it weird. Might have to do a little bit of experimentation. It might have to come in from the other side. I'm not sure here yet. So let's... Well, for the moment, let's go ahead and put another one of these detector rails over here. Don't need our sword on our hotbar at the moment. So that switched direction, kind of like I expected. Let's push this through it. And he gets the correct direction, so that's a good sign. Now this train coming back is going to go here. Let's see, what happens if I put... See, the trick that we're trying to... So I think... Is that the default direction? That might be the default direction. Which means if I were to put a detector here... What happens without a detector rail? Is this guy gonna just go straight on by it? Yeah, pretty much. We want him to turn. But if we put a detector rail here, it seems to switch the direction of the rail permanently. What if we were to put a second detector rail here? So that makes him go around the corner, the direction we want him to. Now if we have a cart here, let's actually just get in this. Yeah, that's not what we wanted to have happen. Let's put this back. So now this will turn it. Perfect. And it switches back to this side, so as the train comes through, it will head that direction. This should be okay if it's switched while the train is going through, but we'll find that out here in just a minute. So let's go ahead and get out our... We'll go ahead and put some of these tracks away. We're going to need some of this, but we won't need too much of it right now. I brought 5 coal coke, and I've got a bunch of regular coal. So we're going to stick him like so. We're going to put our minecart. If we hold shift with the crowbar, we can create a link between the carts. Now we can get in our minecart here. We're going to put water... We're just going to put water cells in here. We lose the metal from it, but I'm not too worried about that for those cells at the moment. If we put the coal coke in here, we can change this to running. We'll run slow for the moment just so we can see how this goes through those corners. Make sure it does the right thing. And we'll take 1 stack of coal and put in there for the time being. Once this is, we know it's working right, then we can add some more coal for to let it idle. So we stop, we hit the button, we continue on, we get towed through that turn there. Let's speed it up a little bit. Down the track, the hill we go. And as we get closer to the Ender Farm, we'll slow down again just to make sure that we can watch this go through the turns properly. Here we are, coming up into... Let's actually idle him. Uh-oh. That was not what it was supposed to do. Don't know how I ended up there. Okay, let's go and take a look and see where we're at here. Now, right now, he should just go straight on through this. And if we take and switch this with... That's not what that was supposed to do. This could be a little bit more challenging because we don't have a lot of space to set things up here. What I might have to do is set up a timer or of some variety. Well, actually, no, that should connect. Let's grab a torch. Yeah, that connects. But it's going the wrong direction right now. Because right now it isn't updated. Oh, no, now it's the right way. I guess that was enough to update it. So send him slowly through this. Makes that turn. Comes around and sits there locked in. Let's go ahead and go. That is not what it was supposed to do. But on the plus side, it did eject me out of the cart, so at least that part works. I think I need to take this little section out so that it has more room to eject me out of the cart properly. Now the question is, why didn't the train actually keep going? Yeah, that never actually triggers the intersection there. Yeah, I'm not sure how to fix this one properly. I guess what I could do is swap this out for a switch track. I need to make another wooden rail bed and make one of the switch motors or a switch lever. Switch lever is probably sufficient because it's that one's just controlled by redstone. Actually, I think the one that I would need is one of these Y tracks, because what that will do is from here you can have the switch motor control which side it goes through, and I don't even know if I'd need a switch motor because I think it will go through this side and then coming back it will always go back through that default spot. So I'll have to do a little bit of I'll see about making one of those and hooking that up. For the moment, let's try it like this just to see if we can get the train to go back. Perfect. Now let's go full speed and make sure that we can get all the way to the end portal, and then we'll hop back in and ride the train back to the entry platform just to make sure the whole thing works. Look at all that, those particles right in the way. Okay, that part works. And up we go. Ride this train all the way through. Whoa. That was unexpected. And now my client locked up. I'm going to go back and see what happened, and